for a time of sharing. Think you got your spot all picked out there, huh? Yeah. What you got? This morning we're going to hear a story about Jesus. And in the story, Jesus is crying. Now, when we think about someone crying, what happens? What's a reason why someone might be crying? What's one reason? Oh, when the penguin was going to get arrested, it made you cry?
I thought it was going to get arrested, and I thought it was going to die, but then with the kite on its back, it flew. That was fun.
Okay, but it made you cry. Yeah, because you were you sad or were you afraid? A little bit of both. Yeah. Why else do we cry?
Because I, at my old house, lost one of my favorite toys that I got from McDonald's, and it's Ray the Flying Squirrel.
Wow. So you lose a toy and we might cry when we lose something important. Yes. Why else might we cry? Why else? Because somebody else is hurt. And we might cry because they're hurt. Not because you're hurt, but because they are. Oh, that's very powerful. Yes. Why else might we cry?
If you didn't get any presents for your birthday.
If you didn't get any presents for your birthday, yeah. Boy. So does that mean if I let you know that my birthday's tomorrow, that in order so that I don't cry, you'll buy me a present? It's okay. Just kidding. But yeah, when people forget an important date for us, that can make us cry. And why else might we cry? How else might we cry? When a loved one dies. Yeah. And that's part of what we're going to be hearing about in our story this morning about Jesus, is that a really, really good friend of his has died. But also, because Lazarus who died, it was his sisters who were crying. And Jesus understood their hurt. And he cries because they're hurting. And that's a feeling of empathy. That's a feeling for someone else's pain. When we're hurting and we're crying, what can make us feel better? What's one thing that can make us feel better?
Going into your room, maybe watching something, or...
Okay, going into your room and finding something different to do, yeah. What else can make us feel better?
Crying into my pillow.
Crying into our pillows. So actually tears can actually help us to feel better. What's another way that we can that can help us when we're crying? What? That if we were to be grateful? Yeah, if we were to make our mind think about what we're grateful for. Oh, so when a pet like a cat dies, we can be grateful that we had the time with that animal? Yeah, that's important. And it can also be important when other people reach out to us. Sometimes a mom or a dad or a grandma or grandpa giving you a hug can make you feel better if you're crying. And sometimes we do things like lighting candles that help us to remember those people and to be grateful for them. And that can help to wipe away the tears. Yes?
The candle.
The candles, yes, we light candles. Well, this morning we're going to also hear that Jesus reaches out to us and wants to remind us that when we're hurting, Jesus hurts with us. So this morning, our blessing to one another is that Jesus cares for us. So I want you to raise your hands. Raise one hand maybe. And actually, we're going to raise two hands because you need two hands to give a good hug. So we're going to have two hands and we're going to say, repeat after me, Jesus cares for you. Ready? Jesus cares for you. Amen. Thanks for being here and thanks for all your wonderful help this morning. I really appreciate it. And how are they leaving today?
Yeah, so carefully walking around the table with all the fire, and then walking like a kangaroo. Go.
Oh,